Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. And today we are going to dive deep into one of the most important tools that every support engineer, SRE, and DevOps professional uses on a daily basis. And that tool is Jira. Whether you are just starting your career in IT, preparing for a job interview, or you are already working in production support and want to level up your skills, this session is for you. By the end of this lecture, you will understand exactly how Jira works, what different types of tickets are, how the workflow flows from open to closed, and how all of this connects to the ITIL framework that companies around the world follow. As you can see on the screen, Jira is an issue tracking and project management tool developed by Atlassian. Over 65% of Fortune 500 companies use it. That means if you walk into almost any tech company, bank, e-commerce firm, or development, operational team, Jira will be there waiting for you. So let's not waste any time. Let's get started. Let me quickly walk you through what we are going to cover today. First, we will understand what Jira actually is, the basics. Then we will look at why and where Jira is used across industries. After that, we will dig into the core concepts, projects, issues, and workflows. Then we will spend a good amount of time on ticket types, incidents, change requests, service requests, and problem tickets. We will look at the full Jira workflow, from open all the way to closed. We will also cover ITIL basics, because Jira and ITIL go hand in hand in production support environments. Then we will look at some common interview questions, and finally, I will show you the career paths so you know exactly where this knowledge takes you. Think of this as your complete roadmap: basics, ticket types, workflows, ITIL, and career. Let's go through it one by one. So, what exactly is Jira? Jira is an issue tracking and project management tool. It was built by a company called Atlassian. Think of it as the central nervous system of your IT operations. Everything that happens, every problem that occurs, every change that is planned, it all lives inside Jira as a ticket. Jira helps teams do 4 major things. Number 1, track issues and bugs. If something is broken in production, you open a ticket. Number 2, manage tasks and projects. Engineers are assigned work through Jira. Number 3, monitor incidents. When a system goes down, Jira is where you track the response. And number 4, handle service requests. When a user needs something like a password reset or access to a system, they raise a ticket. In production support, Jira tracks every single operational issue. There is nothing that happens in a support team that does not have a Jira ticket associated with it. That is how critical this tool is. The 4 core capabilities you see on the slide: bug tracking, task management, incident alerts, and service requests. These are the 4 pillars that make Jira the backbone of IT operations. Now let me ask you something. Imagine your team is handling hundreds of incidents every month. Issues are flying in from everywhere: monitoring alerts, customer complaints, internal escalations. Without a proper system, what happens? Chaos. Issues get lost. Nobody knows who is working on what. There is no history. Deadlines are missed. And the team ends up pointing fingers at each other. Now look at the with Jira side on the slide. Every incident is tracked. Every ticket is assigned to an engineer. So there is full accountability. There is a complete history of every action taken. SLA timelines are visible, so you know if you are about to breach a deadline. And communication becomes structured and clear. This is why Jira is called the single source of truth for all IT operations work. When a manager asks, "What happened to the payment outage last Tuesday?" you open Jira, pull up the ticket, and the entire story is right there. Every comment, every action, every update. That is the business value of Jira. It brings order to what would otherwise be complete chaos. Jira is used literally everywhere. Let me give you a sense of the scale. IT companies like Google, Microsoft, and Atlassian itself use Jira. Banking and fintech companies, financial institutions worldwide rely on Jira to manage their operational incidents and change requests. E-commerce giants like Amazon, Flipkart, and Shopify use it. DevOps teams use Jira to manage their CI/CD pipelines. And production support teams, which is our primary audience today, use Jira to handle incidents and changes every single day. Here is a fact that really puts this in perspective. Over 65% of Fortune 500 companies use Jira for project management. It is used in 180 countries. And there are over 10 million active users worldwide. So when you learn Jira, you are learning a skill that is universally valued. It does not matter if you are working in India, the US, Europe, or anywhere else, Jira will be there. Alright, now we get into the core concepts. And I want you to pay close attention here because these three concepts are all you need to understand Jira at its foundation. Think of Jira as a pyramid. At the base, the foundation, you have the project. Above that, you have the issue, which is also called the ticket. And at the top, governing everything, you have the workflow. Let me break each one down. A project is the container. It holds everything related to one application, team, or system. Imagine a folder on your computer. Everything inside that folder belongs to the same project. An issue, or ticket, is a single unit of work. Every task, every bug, every incident, every request. It's all represented as an issue in Jira. And the workflow defines the life cycle of that ticket. How does it move? What states does it pass through? From creation to closure, the workflow is the map. These three concepts, project, issue, workflow, form the complete foundation. Everything else in Jira builds on top of these. Let's go deeper into the first concept, the project. A project is a container that holds related issues. Think of it as a folder, but a really smart folder that knows about your team, your workflows, your dashboards, and your history. Every project has a unique key. For example, if I'm working on a payment application support project, the key might be pay or INC. Every ticket in that project will carry that key as a prefix. So INC 101, INC 102, CR 50, SR 200, they all belong to the same project. Look at the real example on the slide. The project is called Payment Application Support. Inside it, you have different types of tickets. INC 101 is an incident for a payment gateway timeout. INC 102 is another incident where users can't log in. CR 50 is a change request to upgrade an API version. SR 200 is a service request to grant database access. All of these are happening in the same application, the payment application. So they all live under the same project. This is how real production support teams are organized. One project per application or one project per team. And every piece of work has its own ticket inside that project. Now, the issue, or as everyone calls it on the floor, the ticket. An issue is a single unit of work. Every work item in Jira is represented as a ticket. And every ticket has specific fields that tell the full story of that work item. Let's go through the key fields. First, the key. This is the unique identifier. Something like INC 101. It tells you the project prefix, INC, and the ticket number, 101. This key is how engineers reference tickets in conversations, in emails, in Slack messages. You'll hear things like, I'm working on INC 101, or can you check CR 50? Then you have the summary, a one-line description of the issue. Then status. Where is the ticket right now? Open, in progress, resolved, or closed. Then priority. How urgent is it? Save 1 critical, save 2 high, save 3 medium, or save 4 low. And finally the assignee. Which engineer is responsible for this ticket? Look at the example ticket on the right. INC 101. The summary says, Payment Gateway Timeout Error. Status is, in progress. Priority is save 1 critical. Assignee is John Smith. Created on 15th January. And the description tells you exactly what the problem is. This is what a real Jira ticket looks like. And your job as a support engineer is to keep these tickets updated in real time as you work through the issue. Now, one of the most important things you need to know, not all tickets are the same. In production support, there are 4 main types of tickets, and each one has a completely different purpose. The 4 types are incidents, change requests, service requests, and problem tickets. The red one, INC, is an incident. This is an unplanned interruption. Something unexpected has happened and it's impacting users right now. Think server down, payment failing. The yellow one, CR, is a change request. This is a planned modification to the system. It goes through an approval process. Think security patches or version upgrades. The green one, SR, is a service request. This is when a user asks for something. They need access, they need a password reset, they need software installed. It's user-initiated and usually low risk. And the blue one, PR, is a problem ticket. This is when you're investigating the root cause of recurring incidents. Why does this keep happening? That's what a problem ticket answers. We are going to spend time on each of these in detail. But first, just remember these 4 types. INC, CR, SR, PR. You'll be dealing with these every single day in your support role. Let's start with the most critical ticket type, the incident. An incident is an unexpected interruption of an IT service that impacts users and requires urgent response. The key word here is unexpected. Nobody planned for this. It just happened. 3 characteristics of an incident. 1. It is unplanned. It happens without warning. 2. It impacts users immediately. Real people are affected right now. 3. It requires urgent response. You cannot wait. And the goal, the singular goal of every incident, is to restore service as quickly as possible. Not to find the root cause. Not to investigate deeply. The goal is to get things back up and running. You can investigate later. Right now, restore service. Look at the real examples. Application is down. No one can access the system. Server is unreachable. Transactions are failing. Payments not going through. Login issues. Users are stuck at the login screen. If any of these happen at your company at 3 in the morning, guess what? Your phone is going to ring. And your job is to respond immediately and get things fixed. Not all incidents are equal. Some are catastrophic. Some are minor. This is where severity levels come in. Severity 1, critical. The entire system is down. Complete service outage. Think, the entire website is offline. Response time? Immediate. You drop everything. You don't finish your lunch. You don't check your phone. You respond immediately. Severity 2, high. A major feature is broken. Core functionality is impacted. Think, payments are failing but the rest of the website works. Response time, within 1 hour. Severity 3, medium. There's a minor issue, but a workaround exists. Users can still get their work done. Think, a report is not loading, but users can work around it. Response time, within 1 day. Severity 4, low. This is a cosmetic issue. No functional impact. Think, there's a typo in an error message. Response time, within 3 days. Here's something I always tell students. For severity 1, you drop everything, even lunch, and respond immediately. That's the culture. That's the expectation. And when you join a support team, that expectation applies to you on day 1. Setting the correct severity is critical. If you set a severity 1 as a severity 3 because you don't want the pressure, you are failing your users and your team. Now let's talk about the second major ticket type, the change request or CR. A change request is a planned and controlled modification to the system. The key word here is planned. This is not an emergency. Somebody sat down, thought about what needs to be changed, assessed the risks, got approval, and then scheduled it for a specific time, usually during a maintenance window. 3 key characteristics of a change request. First, planned. It's scheduled in advance, not a reaction to something breaking. Second, controlled. It follows an approval process. A manager, a change advisory board, or an approver has to sign off on it. Third, risk assessed. Before the change happens, someone evaluates what could go wrong. What's the rollback plan if it fails? The goal of a change request is to make changes to the system without causing incidents. Because if you just go in and start changing production systems without any process, guess what happens? You cause incidents. Real examples. An application version upgrade scheduled during the weekend maintenance window. Database security patching. Service account password rotation. Adding more RAM to a server. All of these are planned, controlled changes. Here's a golden rule you will hear in every support team. Never make changes to production without a change request. If you violate this rule and something breaks, you are going to have a very difficult conversation with your manager. The third ticket type, the service request, or SR. A service request is a formal request from a user for something they need. It could be a service, access to a system, or a resource. The request comes from the user, not from a system alert, not from monitoring. 3 characteristics. User initiated. It comes from a human asking for something. Low risk, usually no system impact. And repetitive. These are often the same types of requests handled over and over, with a predefined process to fulfill them. The goal is to fulfill requests quickly and efficiently. Real examples. A user says, "Grant me read access to production logs." That's an access provisioning request. Someone says, "Reset my VPN password." Password reset. Install Notepad++ on my machine. Software installation. Request a new laptop for a new employee. Hardware provisioning. Service requests are usually handled by a Tier 1 or Tier 2 support team. They follow a predefined process, so the engineer just needs to follow the steps. It's lower stress than an incident, but it still needs to be tracked and resolved within SLA. And now the fourth ticket type, the problem ticket, or PR. A problem ticket is created to find the root cause of incidents and implement a permanent fix. Think of it this way. An incident says, "The building is on fire, put it out." A problem ticket asks, "Why does the building keep catching fire?" 3 key points. A problem ticket investigates why incidents happen. It aims for a permanent fix, not just a workaround. And it prevents future occurrences. The main output of a problem ticket is a root cause analysis, or RCA. Look at the example on the slide. You have 3 incidents: server crashed Monday, server crashed Wednesday, server crashed Friday. 3 different incidents, but the same pattern. So someone creates a problem ticket. Why does the server crash every 2 days? Investigation reveals it's a memory leak in the application code. The fix? Deploy a code fix, and the problem never comes back. This is the power of problem management. Without it, your team would just keep putting out the same fire over and over. With it, you eliminate the root cause and prevent future incidents. That's all for this part of the lecture. In the next video, part 2, we will continue this topic and cover the remaining concepts in detail. So make sure you watch part 2 to complete the full lecture. If this video helped you understand the concept, please like the video and subscribe to CodeBit 360 for more content on IT support, tools, and interview preparation. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. See you in part 2. Keep learning with CodeBit 360.